Yeah. Wake up with coffee and sports. Sunrise glow, listen coast to coast. A flow like you know.
Offensively, who made them? Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
Sideline to sideline with plays to show. This network's got the spark.
When you put up 300 yards rushing against someone, that you got your butt whooped.
I feel like I would have liked to see Oregon Ohio State in the semis, not the quarters. So I think some reseeding is probably where I would change. But
they're out of their mind. They're going to do this 3 quarterbacks in a row.
Here's the crazy.
I just can't take it.
Birds keep flying high, fans cheering loud, and one podcast moving through the crowd. Needy boys brawling, no holds barred bout. This wire life never in doubt. Tune into the vibe.
That's my bold prediction for the show. Devin Booker, in the next 3 years, he will be a Houston Rocket.
Because I still think Seth is still at the top of his game. I do. I think he's right there. Who knows? Maybe. Not this year, but one time soon. Why wouldn't we potentially see Seth and Roman?
Tune in the vibe. Warrior Reds, good centers. Got me on the mic now, let's spill the tea. Talking courtside dreams from history. Legends on the blacktop now and then. From Will to Steph, we hit it again. Both chimes in, let's go deep. Young blood's rising, can't skip a beat. Puppy prospects with fire in their eyes. Draft night suckers and hoop dream highs. Wire to wire, bring the heat. Podcast magic can't be beat. Do better, we're roll better. We're hoop heads, trendsetters.
What is poppin', y'all? It is your boy, Guard-E3, and welcome to the And One Podcast. And of course, today we're just having a little fun. It is Game 6 of the NBA Finals. They are doing some entrances, and it's going to be absolutely terrific. I'm so glad they brought back the little pregame entrances. It's great. But yeah, we're going to hang out. We're going to watch the finals. And of course, joining me is Mo Betta. How you doing, Mo?
Hey, what's good? What's good, everybody?
Oh, like I said, we are just prepping to watch some NBA Finals action. I love they brought back the intros, by the way, Mo. Little things like that go a long way.
It's the details.
Right? Because one of the little things you remember, like when the Bulls were winning all the, the championships, was the entrance.
I love that music. Yeah.
Right. When that music hit, you knew it was time to get hyped.
Well, Indiana needs to get hyped tonight. We need them to take this to 7.
Yeah, I completely agree. Say, apparently the Halliburton injury, it's a multi-week injury, but it's the final, so he can walk, so he's playing.
That's interesting. All I'll say is this. If it's something that normally he wouldn't play, he shouldn't play. He's a young superstar, and we've seen a cautionary tale in real time when KD played when he probably shouldn't have played. If I were Halliburton, I'm not going.
Yeah, no, it's a chance because, I think KD, it didn't start out as an Achilles. I think his started out as like a calf too, and he tried to play through it, and his Achilles just kind of exploded.
Yep, exactly. But that's the whole thing. He wasn't all the way right, and he rushed back. And I think Halliburton, I get it. You want to be there for your teammates, but dude, what if you do blow out your Achilles? You're not going to be there for your teammates all next year.
No, absolutely. Oh. No, yeah, absolutely. It's just, I wasn't a fan when Aaron Gordon did it, so I'm not really a fan of Hallie doing it. I understand why he's doing it, but I'm just all about, I want you to be able to play next year.
That's it. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be 100%, and I want you to play next year. I mean, I'd love for him to be able to play, but if there's the slightest chance he could injure that or injure it far worse, I wouldn't take that chance. Not on my franchise player.
No, absolutely. Well, we'll see how he's moving right off the bat. And a couple days to, just kind of rest it. So, say, Indy's ready. Indy's fired up. But to be fair, I guess if you're in the NBA Finals and your team's facing elimination, how can you not be fired up for this one?
Facts.
It's the biggest game. It's the biggest game you're ever going to see in your life, is most likely. Good defense by Turner. But that double big lineup, ooh. That's the challenge of the double big lineup. Great block by Turner, but then Isaiah Hartenstein versus Siakam is an absolute mismatch on the boards.
Right.
What is... Oh, wait. Okay. Okay, well. Good hit, Allie.
That's a good sign.
It's always good for Allie. He looked like a completely different player when his first shot goes down. So I'm hoping that maybe even a free throw will kind of jot him. Oh. Oh, loose ball. Oh, that would have been so huge.
Look at on a game 6 where it's a potential closeout game for the Indiana, it's all hands on deck. Obviously, you want a big game from Siakam and Halliburton, but they need a big game from Miles Turner. They need a big game from Neesmith on both ends of the floor. And they absolutely need Mathurin to replicate the game where he gave them 25 points.
No, absolutely. They are letting them play so far. I think
I've noticed that. Yeah.
Pascal and Isaiah Hartenstein tackled each other out of bounds on the other end of the court. Oh. I know you got like nerves and you're excited, but that doesn't mean you got to speed everything up. Just slow down a little bit and play your game.
Yeah, both teams have come out with a lot of energy, but some of it is nervous energy.
Send it, Howie. Do it. Step it back. Oh. Well, you know what? Halliburton's been kind of aggressive to start. That's a great thing to see. That's great to see. A lot of the times Halliburton was passing out of that matchup earlier in the finals. I'd love to see him continue to attack iHeart. Good take by Chet. Okay.
I like Halliburton's energy so far. He looks good so far, and he's playing with a lot of energy. Okay.
Say that's good defense by Pascal. He's just too small to do anything with Chet right there. Yeah, he stayed with him, played the move perfectly. Chet he's given up a lot of height to Chet. Hey, what's going on?
Miles Turner looks so awkward whenever he goes to the basket.
He really does. Man, I really do wish they'd have like the NBA. Oh, good move. Ooh. Oh, he's slightly off, but keep firing, Hallie. They'll start falling soon.
Stay aggressive.
Love that behind the back move by Dub there. Chomping.
The way that J-Dub can change directions, that's crazy.
Yeah, get a timeout, Carlisle. Yeah. No, as soon as you got beat baseline, like, yeah, just call it. J-Dub on an absolute eater these past couple games. Hey, J-Dub's trying to win that Finals MVP, right?
Yeah. Well, look, the one thing he's not doing is he's not settling for his jump shot the last couple of games.
Oh, absolutely. Oh.
If they win and J-Dub does have a big night, like a bigger night again, I think he does have a legit shot to be Finals MVP.
I think he has a shot. It's going to be so tough, though.
Because you're going to – I get it. SGA has obviously been the better scorer throughout the series, but J-Dub has been the better scorer. He would have been the better scorer the last two games, the most important games, and he's always the better defender.
I think the counter argument for Shea is while J-Dub did have 40, Shea still had 32. Like, that's the tough part. Like, I think Shea would have to put up an absolute stinker today, and J-Dub would have to go nuts again.
I mean, he had 32, but when the game was imbalanced, when Indiana cut it to 2 and Oklahoma City looked tight, it wasn't Shea that stepped up. In the moment, the person that stepped up was J-Dub. Shea came along after J-Dub reestablished them, and they got it back up like to an 8-point lead. Like, Shea wasn't doing anything either when they made that run. J-Dub was the one that stepped up first.
Florida Panthers fan, Australia, UK. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Like, yeah, it'll be interesting. I think it would take an absolute like banger of a game from Williams to rip this one away from Shea, but it's possible. It's possible. Like if he has another, like if he has back-to-back 40 pieces, I think anything's possible at that point. Yeah,
so
no,
I saw your post about Chris Paul and that interesting top 10, whatever that was.
Yeah, you're on stadiumchats.com up. Yeah, that's it. You're more than welcome to hang out with us. We'll have the score behind us all game. So I knew, like I said, I knew it was going to happen as soon as. No, as soon as as Shea was on the cusp of winning a ring, I made that joke to you. I was like, it's gonna happen. They're gonna like bury Chris Paul and all of our other all-time great point guards. And sure enough, I see that list. It's like, yep, Shea's the 6th greatest point guard of all time already. Chris Paul at 10, Nash at 9, Kuzi 8. I'm like, oh, okay. I still don't know when J Kidd got to 5, but
look. If they go on to win this title, and Shea has a title, versus say someone like a Chris Paul, I don't think Shea has enough of a body of work to somebody say that he had a greater career than Chris Paul. He will say he could win a title, but that kind of goes to the argument that we talk about all the time. Like yeah, I do think rings matter in a certain conversation, but we don't. When a guy like Robert Ory points out that he's got 7 rings, nobody goes, Robert Ory he's got a, because he's a role player, and we know he's a role player, and he knows he's a role player. Chris Paul has been not just a great point guard on one end of the floor; he's been an All NBA defender for over a decade. I can't put Shea ahead of Chris Paul based off of the body of work that he has, including if he won a title this year. I don't think he's a greater player all time right now than Chris Paul.
No, and that's kind of what's holding him back. He'll be able to say between him and Chris Paul, he has the best season out of the two.
Sure,
but
I got you. Look,
Steve,
Steve Nash can say I got 2 MVPs. Chris ain't got none. But people who know basketball, they don't have Steve Nash ahead of Chris Paul.
No, absolutely. Say the Pacers finally get on the board here. That was actually their first jumper because the other 2 came off free throws. Oh wow, okay. All it took was 1. All right, Pascal, take him home.
Yeah, right.
I think he's honestly the funnest guy. Like who would to talk about all time ranking wise for me? If they won the finals, might be Pascal Siakam.
2 titles, isn't he like a 4-time All-Star?
Yeah, and I think if the Pacers win, like he's Finals MVP, right?
If I'll say he's got to play well tonight and in Game 7, but he's been of all the Pacers. OKC really hasn't bottled him up, especially in the latter part of this series. Like when he's aggressive, no one can guard him.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, he missed. Nemhard. Bang! What a shot by Nemhard. Here we go.
That was big. By the way, you never told me whose list was that?
Oh, that Oh, Rick Boucher's.
Oh, Rick, no wonder. He don't know what he's talking about half the time, so that explains a lot.
No! Andrew Nemhard legacy game incoming.
I've seen many games where Nemhard has dropped 30 plus. So he's definitely capable of going off and having a big scoring game. I've seen him do it.
No, and that's the thing with the Travel by Chet. Welcome back. And that's the beautiful thing with the beautiful thing about Nemhard is he's a guy who always like completely buys into Nemhard. Nemhard is on his own personal 8-0 scoring run.
He's picking up where T.J. McConnell left off in Game 5. Oh, Indiana's defensive intensity has picked up a lot too.
Yeah. Good job. Charge. Block. Okay, you know he did get there late. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he's still moving a little at the end. Nah, he was still moving a little at the end. That's a good call by the refs.
As Jeff Van Gundy would say, it's a bang-bang play.
Yeah. It is amazing how they can call that in real time.
I'm going to give the officials their flowers. They don't get them enough. If I had to do what they had to do, I'd get it wrong a lot.
Oh, they'd be chasing me out of the stadium with pitchforks by the end of the first quarter.
They might be calling me the extender.
Come on. Swing it. Nah, you give this to Nemhard. You know exactly where this has to go. Oh, he's not on the court anymore. Oh! Obi Toppin is... This is insane. Like, this team couldn't score for the first 5 minutes, and now they just can't miss.
I'm waiting for Dagnov to take a timeout. I mean, I know the score is not out of hand or anything like that, but momentum is a thing you can feel.
What? Another 3, I'm calling it. Okay. You know what? Spare. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I gotta call it. Oh. Just absolutely lazy execution by the Thunder there.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm surprised Dagnov did not call that timeout.
I like this. Well, I was going to say, if he... Oh! Oh, Pacers are hot now. What a turn of events.
And no timeout.
Hey, there they go. They finally called it.
Finally. I was going to say, is he trying to do the Phil Jackson thing? Let him work it out?
Yeah, no, I think that works in some situations. In this one, though, just get your guys reset, man. I don't know if they're working through this. You just got to break up this Indiana momentum. Hopefully a little break calms their three-point shooting down a little.
Reggie Miller's wearing his Jalen Rose jersey. That's funny.
Say, it's a great time for, to be an NBA fan. The NBA Finals, of course, Mo. We got the NBA Draft coming up next week.
Super excited for that. Especially with all the weird things that are going on with some of the potential draft picks. All of a sudden, Ace Bailey goes from being a lock at 3 to people are saying like he might go as far back as 7. Apparently, he's turning off some teams because he's saying who he will and won't work out for. He talked to the Sixers and he wanted guarantees from them. Like, dude, who are you? What have you done? That's crazy.
To me, yeah, a lot of the value that people are talking about with him is how good he can be in like a scaled down role next to better players. And that's something we've seen superstars do and star level players. Like Tatum first came into the league in a scaled down role because of, Hayward, Kyrie. Kobe came in with Nick Van Exel and Eddie House and
Eddie Jones.
Just started out. And, if you're that good, the natural talent will show through. So
I said it on the morning show. I agreed with them that he has a really high ceiling, but he could be Tracy McGrady. He could also be Michael Beasley.
Oh, my no, I agree with that. Beasley was the name I thought of, but I saw somebody saw him start to decline workouts and said, I've seen enough. Welcome back, Cam Reddish. I'm like, oh, boy.
Not Cam Reddish.
6'8" athletic wing who has all the potential in the world? Oh, maybe. That's kind of what's frustrating about Ace, though. Like, I understand he wants to be a superstar, and now I'm just trying to figure out, is this, is it Ace doing this? Or is it his agent? Is he just getting bad advice? Is he really this much of a diva? Like, at the end of the day, to me, it's just wild that, they would do all this in the first place. Like, you don't want to work out with the number 3 pick, even though that's probably the best landing spot for you.
Yeah, I don't understand. But look, we live in different times. Young guys, a lot of them coming here with different mindsets. And look, because they're young, a lot of them aren't very mature.
No, absolutely. Like, I guess would you rather like slowly work up to being the guy on a, along with Tyrese Maxey, or be the guy on a 15-win Wizards team? And he looks like he wants to be the guy on a 15-win Wizards team, or form the greatest chucking duo with LaMelo Ball.
I
That
was
would
just
make Antoine Walker blush.
I was just getting ready to say maybe he wants to play with LaMelo, and they can set all kind of records without winning.
Oh, just going to be them taking contested middies and one-legged threes half the game. They won't win, but it might be entertaining every once in a while.
It'll be entertaining. The records and the results will be sad, but it'll be entertaining. Look, it's funny because looking at Rick Bucher's top 10 point guards list, which is not a good list, but that kind of goes into a conversation that LeBron was having with Steve Nash about ring culture, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's part of that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Say LeBron was 100% correct. It's funny coming from him, but he's 100% correct.
He's correct to a point. He's not making the case or even bringing up the conversation to be genuine. LeBron James doesn't care about the legacy of Steve Nash or Charles Barkley or Patrick Ewing or Karl Malone or John Stockton. I know he's trying to say, and the thing about that is, how can you say I'm talking about the greats that are not getting the respect they do? They're greats. People always talk about how great they are. What is your argument? Or is your argument, well, Chris Paul should be a top 10 player? Okay. Then who in the top 10 should Chris Paul replace? I'll wait. There's not an answer. He's not replacing anybody. Who in the top 10 should Charles Barkley wait? And we can keep going on and on. LeBron James brought up this conversation for one reason and one reason only. He can't get Michael Jordan off his mind. This is not about other players. It's about LeBron James, again, changing the narrative because he knows he's not going to reach 6 titles.
No, and
he's not going to reach 6 titles. So the argument now is, oh, no, it's not about ring chase. How can someone who left Cleveland to ring chase with Miami say you're not about ring chasing? The same guy who they had this weird press conference where he himself said, what'd he say, Brett? Not 1, not 2, because you're ring chasing. And then when you beat Golden State, if you're not ring chasing, you wouldn't say, that just made me the GOAT. You're ring chasing. You left Cleveland to go to LA to do what? To ring chase. Don't tell me you're not part of ring chase culture and you don't know where it came from. You're a big part of it. You're not the reason it exists. It's been around for years, but you're a big part of it. All of a sudden, you're trying to change the narrative. It's not about everybody else. He wants to change the narrative because he's not going to catch a certain someone.
No, that's a foul on TJ. And that's kind of why I said it's ironic coming from him. The message is good, but coming from LeBron, it's just kind of funny to see him be the one to deliver it.
Let Giannis deliver that message. Let Chris Paul deliver that message. But LeBron is the wrong messenger for that conversation.
How's the weather? Weather's good by me. It's nice and warm. Are you from Australia? Are you from the UK? That's cool. How's the weather by you?
I'm curious about what time it is there.
That's a tough shot. I don't know what that was.
Wow.
Oh, Nemhard wanted to step back so badly right there.
He did.
Okay? Good hit, Wiggins. Oh, that's awesome. I've never been to the UK. Obi! Nope. I've always wanted to go there.
I wanted to go. My daughter actually was there about 2 or 3 days ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, her school is doing this thing where it was they won a thing for entertainment international where they sing and perform. And like right now, they were in the UK, they were in Paris, and tonight they're going to be in Switzerland.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. So
I told her I was jealous because I was like, you're making trips that I've never come close to making.
I remember my 2 places I got to visit was I was in school is through art class. I got to go see Evita on Broadway.
That's dope.
So that was cool. And then senior trip we went to Cleveland, which was actually a lot of fun.
Cleveland, this is for you.
It's 2:06 at night, and the temperature is 16. Ooh,
16? Wow.
you know
Wait
what's
a
fun?
minute. Is it always like that in general, or is it like still winter time there? I'm just asking a crazy question.
It might be 16 degrees. Do they measure in Celsius? Do you guys measure degrees in Celsius or Fahrenheit?
16 degrees is cold as you know what. Yo.
Yeah, nah. I was gonna say 16. That
Brett, you can relate. You're in Wisconsin.
Oh, it's in winter. Okay.
So it is wintertime. That's
Okay.
crazy.
I got you.
All right. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, our winters get to like 16 degrees. We had like a day where it was like negative 20 out.
That's insane.
Nah, yeah, I was off that day. You couldn't pay me enough to go outside. Yeah, I'm actually from the central part of like the United States in Wisconsin. So yeah, we during our winter we normally get quite a bit of snow. Bad play by SGA. SGA is just forcing the issue right now.
I thought I was the only. I'm glad you said it. You can tell that he's not in rhythm, and he's just forcing up shots. He's got to play within the offense.
Okay, that's just a bad foul. But yeah, no, we had a one-legged like floater over a double team, and then just that. Yeah, no, but yeah, no, I'll get a lot of. Sometimes we get quite a bit of snow in Wisconsin. That was funny. The day was negative 20. I looked out the window. I'm like, well, my car's parked on the wrong side of the road. And I was just like, well, I guess it's staying there. Okay, so go Thunder and Celtics. Okay. We have a good friend who sometimes comes on the show that's a Boston Celtics fan. Shout out Kyle.
So if you're a Celtics fan, are you a huge Jason Tatum fan as well? I like Jason Tatum.
I love how they're like, that could have been an offensive foul. He clearly extended the off arm to create space. That could have been a foul.
Yeah, my problem is, let's be consistent. If that's a foul in the regular season, it's a foul right there. That's a foul.
No, I completely agree. Obi was just swarmed. No, and I Chiefs, Red Sox, and Buck. Okay. My basketball team is the Milwaukee Bucks, Green Bay Packers for football, Milwaukee Brewers fan, and it's funny, I actually hate watching Wisconsin Badgers basketball, so.
Really? Wow.
I want to cheer for them, but their offense is just so bad. Like, I'm not trying to watch you run the I formation for 48 minutes. And it's not even like good offense. It's just them like plunging and getting like 6-7 yards on the ground, which is great. And then we have a quarterback that can't throw.
Mm.
At times it feels like I'm watching like the 2012 Vikings, where it's like, hey, this Adrian Peterson guy's really good. Oh, it's guys like Matt Castle throwing the football. Okay. Nah, I don't actually. It's Wisconsin. I want to cheer for them, but if their offense is just so hard to watch. I just hate watching it, and it just never seems to get better.
That's fair. I used to watch a lot of Wisconsin back in the day, but that was only because I like Mike Finley.
No, that's fair. I said I love our running backs. We get good ones like Melvin Gordon, Jonathan Taylor. Like, we pump out good running backs.
Both of those guys are nice, especially Jonathan Taylor.
We just haven't had a good quarterback since like Russ. New Jurassic World movie. I forgot that was coming out. Definitely have to check that out.
I'm excited to check that out, and I want to see that new. I think it's 28 Years Later. I want to check that out.
Oh no, I got you. Yeah, no, I'm. Oh yeah, no, that's. You know what? That's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. I bet, Kyle. Not asking for a lot. Can I just get a quarterback that can do more than like consistently hit checkdowns? Because after that, it just gets dicey.
My guy Nimhard came to play.
Uh-huh.
Nimhard came to play.
No, absolutely. I'm convinced. I think I know the top three in the draft. I'm pretty confident that the top three in the NBA draft are just going to be Flagg, Harper, and Edgecombe. I think it's going to be VJ to Philly.
So you do think Edgecombe's going to go to Philly? Okay.
I think it's going to be Edgecombe to Philly unless they trade out of the pick.
I think I think Morey, if he doesn't pick him, he will trade out of it.
Yeah, because like once you get to like the names behind, if you're not interested in Ace Bailey, once you get to the names behind him, you're just like, should I really be picking him at 3? Like Con Knuppel and Trey Jones, like because I can probably trade like for example back with Utah, and I can still get Con or Trey Jones, or at that point even Ace Bailey.
Yeah, he's look. No denying his talent, but man, he got a lot of red flags.
Oh, Matherin, short. Hey, I live like 5 minutes away from the Milwaukee baseball team. Good hit. There we go. That seemed a lot more in rhythm.
Okay.
TJ McConnell's so funny. His offense just looks like he runs around in circles and does spin moves and it works.
I don't know, but in game 5 for like a 6 or 7 minute stretch, he was the best player on the floor.
No, absolutely. Great move. Oh boy. It's happening again, Mo. It's coming. Yeah. That is a veteran move right there, Matherin, by the way. They're going to challenge that, I think. Oh, they didn't have to. They just overturned the call. Okay, I respect it. Here we go. All right, there we go. Nope. Oh, yep. Problem with Turner is he got positioned, but he got positioned too far under the basket. Didn't give himself any breathing room. So as soon as the help came and forced him baseline, he stepped out. Oh, what a head fake. Oh. All right, SGA. He might be rolling now. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Miles needs to punish Williams on the switch. Oh.
The problem with Miles Turner is no back to the basket game at all. He don't have a back to the basket. He's a face up player.
Yeah, no, he
I mean, you can't make him something he's not. He's not a good post player.
Miles Turner's like moves are just awkward half the time. Like that attempt of a sweeping hook was just weird.
I think Rick Carlisle just called timeout. Okay.
Yep. No, good timeout by Rick.
It's smart.
No, I'm shocked they didn't. Oh, Matt Ariza got re-signed? That's good. He's good for them. No, absolutely. I agree with that. A face-up jumper would be killer. Which the problem with Miles Turner, though, as soon as he feels that pressure of somebody contesting his jumper, he rushes it. And I think that's the challenge sometimes with him trying to do a face-up jumper. I agree. The Celtics will be back, right, Kyle?
They will be. They will be. They won't be back like they'll be title contenders next year, but I think they're going to be better than a lot of people estimate. I think they're still going to be a playoff team. But I will say this, and I always say this: don't sleep on Brad Stevens. If he gets the opportunity to pull the trigger on a move that he thinks makes the Celtics better for the future and beyond, he'll do it.
I completely agree. I heard they're getting some crazy offers for Jaylen Brown and Derek White. And while I don't think they'll pull the trigger on those, that's interesting. Although, if there's a crazy enough offer, Mo, maybe you do have to consider making a move.
Yeah, look, it's not impossible. And like I said, I think Brad Stevens is very forward-looking. I don't think the plan is to move Jaylen Brown, but if somebody makes him an offer he can't refuse, and it's in the Celtics benefit to make that deal, he'll make the deal.
No, absolutely. I think they will. I think they will end up getting rid of. Well, I think Drew Holiday's gone for sure.
Drew's a lock to be gone. The question mark is what they may or may not do with Porzingis.
I think they'll keep Porzingis.
He's a good player.
It's tough when it comes to Kristaps, right? Because on one hand, like, you want to see him probably get shipped out, but at the same time, shipping him out this offseason, just trading him all his value at its lowest. So, like, are you really going to pursue that trade this offseason? Like, he might just get moved at, like, the deadline next year because his value's, like, next to nothing because of that illness. He didn't really play at all in the second half of the year.
He was bad in the postseason because he wasn't obviously fully healthy. That's good defense on him. You may see I can pick up his dribble. That's good defense.
No, absolutely.
Man, McConnell's on fire. Him and Nembhard came to play.
Yeah, no, I completely love seeing that. You need a better center. I think you'll find one, but like I said, trading Kristaps right now is just a little tough. There we go.
You know what though? There's teams out there depending on the deal you want to make. What if the Celtics want back more of a rim running athletic big in return? I'm just saying.
No, fair enough.
I would look. I've always told Kyle this. If I'm the Celtics, I'm always asking about the situation in New Jersey with not New Jersey anymore, in Brooklyn with Nick Claxton, because I love what Nick Claxton can do because of his ability to run and play in space defensively.
This Thunder defense is really starting to clamp up. So here we go. I'd say this defense of the Thunder has been great. Couple hot streaks from Indy, but they're only 34% from the field right now. So
That's great defense.
Oh, that's Pacer ball looks like. It looks like Chet touched that last. Here we go. Here comes some TJ. TJ McConnell, baby.
I'm telling you, he's on fire, man. This dude is on fire.
Yeah, he's got that midi. Oh, here we go. Come on, oh, Hallie, step back. Yes, good. Halliburton. The Thunder defense has actually been pretty good. Yeah, that's a foul. You know what's funny? I thought the Thunder defense is pretty good so far, but the Pacers have been getting hot in stretches.
I was going to say good defense, but it's been better offense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, Caruso, you got to do better than that. You got to be better than that. Yeah, Tally started off a little slow, but that's why I want Hallie to keep shooting. He'll find his rhythm eventually. Here we go. TJ. Oh, TJ, he's going to try to blow right past him.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, he almost got that.
Look
Here
at that.
we go.
I love it. I love it that Neesmith is beating Caruso at his own game. That's crazy.
Say TJ Warren is coming alive, or say TJ Warren, TJ McConnell is coming alive. Absolutely. Say another solid bet, Tony Bradley, just being a big body and not letting Caruso get that one. Boston Celtics. Oh, Kyle. Kyle, do you agree with that? Hang on, let me pull this one up just for Kyle.
What did he say?
Boston Celtics need Trae Young.
No, they don't.
Kyle loves Trae Young. That's why I had to ask him.
I know he's one of his favorite players.
Absolutely. No, and here's the thing about Trae Young. I don't know if he actually kind of like fits. Yeah, Kyle, my nightmare. Trae's an interesting player because like the Hawks generated like the 8th most amount of open shots in the league, but also Trae Young's just lack of off-ball ability at times just kind of makes me nervous a fit with him in, let's say, like Boston.
Talented kid, unique skill set. I feel like everybody is still living off of that one run that he had a few years back to the conference finals. That's really only been the only real run Atlanta's been on since he's been there. The season they had last year is pretty much how the seasons have been since that run. They haven't been very good. I don't think he can be your best player. I think that was a run. You get credit for the run, but in terms of being your best player over a sustained period of time, I'm talking about years after year after years, and he can lead you to a title. No, he can't. He can't. Can he help you win? Yeah, if you pair him with someone who's as good or better than he is, and he can play off the ball instead of just dominate the ball, I think he can help you win, but he can't be your best player.
I think he also just, I'll say, Rose, he just retired, I think, this last year. That was so sad. I wish, just because I think, I would have loved to see Derrick Rose win a ring. He's one guy that, I think unanimously would have loved to see, everybody would have loved to see him get a ring.
Yeah, I couldn't put it better, Kyle. It's not that he's not talented, but if you're just going to run the offense through him exclusively and he's just going to dribble to air out the ball possession after possession, I don't think that's a winning formula.
Say, yeah, Tyler Hero in Boston? That's
What
an
do you
interesting idea.
What are you giving back in return?
Drew Holiday.
Pat Riley is not doing that. He's not doing that. If you're gonna have to give up something good for Tyler Hero, so are you willing to give up Derek White for Tyler Hero?
Yeah, I don't think Hero's going anywhere. There's some rumors that KD and Miami might be interested in each other. See, Drew Holiday. But
yeah, not for Tyler Hero.
no, I see the rumors. It's funny. Obviously, KD and Miami might be like a fit together, and I see some people going like, "Well, they should trade." Tyler Hero. I'm like, then who's scoring the basketball? Like, sure, KD, but who's the second option?
Not Bam.
Yeah, second option Bam hoops just sound pretty awful, honestly. Here we go, SGA. Ooh. Uh-oh, here we go. Here comes TJ. Don't go under. Oh, I thought he was going to pull that. Travel, yep. Kevin Durant in Boston, I don't think it would happen, but it's an interesting idea.
No way. I don't think that has any chance of happening.
Honestly, I thought Nemhard was just going to pull that step back. Here we go. Here comes. Oh, Shea wants to take Nemhard. Steve. Oh my goodness, McConnell, you are.
Mm.
TJ McConnell, man.
Active hands on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, no, he's just absolutely nutty right now. I love to see it. Uh-oh. I thought FCA was going to pull that three. There we go. Run it. Say, run it while Hart's on the ground. 5-on-4. There we go. Nice, strong take. Get yourself some couple easy free throws there, Tony Bradley.
Tony Bradley has given Indiana some great minutes so far.
No, absolutely. This game right now, Mo, it just feels like the difference of the Pacers are just outworking the Thunder.
They're not shooting better, that's for sure, but they are outworking them. They're getting a lot of second chance baskets.
What do the Celtics need to win another championship? Tatum to get healthy.
Yeah, start there. A healthy Tatum.
Say Tony Bradley. Tony Bradley would be a good fit in Boston. I think Tony Bradley's just a player that would fit well in a lot of places. A solid backup center who can give you limited bench minutes.
I think Lonzo Ball would be a good fit in Boston.
I'd love to see it.
I think Lonzo could basically replace Drew Holiday in terms of, Lonzo can be an elite defender. He's longer, still can play make, and he's turned himself into a really good three-point shooter.
No, I would love a Nemhard to Boston trade. It's a great fit.
Well, right about now, everybody wants Nemhard. Everybody's like, yo, Nemhard's nice. What's his contract situation?
Oh, you missed the dunk. Oh, I meant Lonzo, not Nemhard. Yeah.
I like Nemhard too, though. But yeah, look, I think Lonzo is a winning basketball player, and he would fit anywhere. But Boston would be great for him because I think he's around the same. He's in the same age as Tatum, and he's not a ball dominant player. He's super unselfish. I think he would fit them perfectly.
The coronation. This is why you don't coronate teams too early, right? Now the Thunder could still win this game. But before this game, all I was seeing is, well, can't wait to, watch that Thunder celebration tonight. To me, this is, I'm getting a severe thunderstorm warning. That's great. But To me, this is why you don't coronate teams too early.
Facts.
Because, the Thunder could still win this game, but the Pacers have come out and punched them in the mouth. And now they got to play comeback.
And just for the record, should they end up losing this game in the series, does that change Rick Bucher's top 10 point guards? I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. I know that was, to be fair, I guess I'll be a little fair to him. He said that's his if Shea wins a ring and finals MVP.
I still think that's a hell of a thing. He got one title. Look, Oscar Robertson, the Big O, won one title, and he's not in anybody. Where's he at?
Good job, Dort. Way to flop yourself to the ground. Wow. What a hustle by Hallie. Oh, Neesmith. Woo!
Love it.
Corner three.
Maybe I need to look at the list again. Where's Jerry West?
Yeah, no, that's the brutal part to me, honestly. He's not on the list.
No Oscar Robertson, no Jerry West.
Oscar was on the list.
Okay, but come on.
His top 10 is Shea wins a ring and finals MVP. Magic, Steph, Oscar, Stockton, Kidd, Isaiah, Shea, Kuzi, Steve Nash, Chris Paul. Which, by the way, I agree with that. I would put Jerry West all the way up to 3. if we're talking about greatest point guards of all time, I would absolutely put Jerry West not only in the conversation, but I'm putting Jerry West in the top. Like I think 3 and 4 are just probably just West and Oscar, if we're counting the pre-merger guys.
I think it's West, Oscar, then Isaiah.
And then like I think I would put Isaiah over both Stockton and Kidd.
I would too.
The thing with John Stockton is he has like the very good longevity stats and he has great numbers, but his peak just is not up there with these guys. Oh, wow, must be bad. Yeah, well, like I said, I'm getting a thunderstorm warning, so. Ooh, 60-mile-an-hour winds. That's going to be fun to listen to tonight.
That is crazy. 60-mile-an-hour winds. Whoa. I wonder if we're getting some kind of warning. We're not that far away from you all.
Yeah. All right, speaking of you, Mo, are you going to be going to any of like the WNBA like All-Star stuff?
I was trying to get one of my daughters to go, but sadly, my daughters are not into sports like their dad.
Oh, I got you. I'm debating about it. I might see if I can sneak down to Indy for the All-Star game.
I think it's gonna be a great show. I think it's gonna be a great show.
No, absolutely. Ooh. I'm glad it's a full timeout right now because now I'm just like, okay, cool, I get it. There's a storm. Please, I want to watch my game.
Good point.
There we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. Perfect time for the full timeout. It's going to be fantastic. By the way, and two, Blake Griffin, he retired too a couple of years ago.
He retired, Brett, but I see Blake Griffin in more and more commercials than when he played.
Hey, I guess he's got more time on his hands.
That could be it.
No, I've thought about trying to go down to Indy either for the All-Star game or just a Fever game in general. Of course, Of course, at some point, I want to see Caitlin Clark in action.
I do too. I want to check in a live Fever game, but I want to see her live. I've never seen her live, so that'd be entertaining.
Yeah, no, we the only time I hear about, we hear about her a ton. Obviously, there's that whole incident with her and Indiana and Atlanta played and things got a little chippy.
Right.
That was wild to me. Like, okay, I get it. There were some fights and everything, but people are like freaking out. Like, dude, it's basketball. Things are going to get heated.
And I'm okay when guys talk to smack to each other in the NBA. We just go, that's part of the game. I felt the same way in the moment when it was happening in the WNBA. Competitors, some are going to talk trash. Somebody's going to try to be a little physical. That's part of the game. Oh, the only thing I had a gripe with is I can't remember her name, the young lady that ran up on her and pushed her. That she should have got tossed on that.
Marina Mabry. Yeah. That was weird. He was like, the refs were like, well, there wasn't enough to constitute an ejection or a flagrant 2. I'm like, really? Like a little hit stick after the play? Like, I think that was more than enough.
Right. You should have told the ref should have been told, like, how about I run up on you, ref, full speed and just drop you?
And the problem with that is we saw it at the end of the game. That's just going to raise tensions to where you don't control it then, something else is going to happen.
Which is exactly what did happen. Correct.
Yeah, like,
right.
We all saw that dust up coming from a mile away. J-Dub.
I think they need to make a push because if Indiana goes on one more big run, I think the game's going to get out of hand.
Here we go. Oh, Neesmith getting 3 the old-fashioned way. All right. OKC, what do you got? Well, James would be James Harden would be a great fit in a lot of places, but I don't see him leaving Los Angeles.
I actually think he likes it there. I think that might be the team where he sees as his final home or his NBA home. And look, they were a good team last year. They came up a little short, but if they make a couple of moves around the edges to bolster that bench a little bit more, who's to say they can't go on a run?
And I completely agree with that. That's why I think he doesn't go anywhere. It's not that, like, I think he's just happy in LA, and I think it's a great spot for him to, probably finish out his career. Whoa! Oh! Chat was barbecue chicken right there. Okay, good answer. Good answer. But, the problem I think now is, Mo, that you have to get a couple stops here, and as good as this Thunder defense is, the Pacers are just feeling it.
They're not able to slow him down to this point. Look at Nembhard.
Oh, my goodness. Halliburton, baby.
I just feel like right now, the Indiana offense has OKC's defense on their heels.
Yeah.
And I thought they were playing good defense before, but not these last few possessions. I mean, they're getting whatever shot they want.
Yeah, that first half, it was great defense, but hey, what's good, Jory? Thanks for tuning in. Terrence Ross, I believe, is officially retired now. He actually plays a lot of games on Twitch. Brooke Lopez, I think Brooke would be a good fit. Brooke is a good rotational fit for a lot of different teams. Good block by Caruso. I still would love to see Brooke to Orlando. Oh! I'm one of the few people that actually wouldn't mind if Brooke stays on the Bucks, but I just know he's gone. Whoa, J-Dub!
Let me ask you, if Brooke is out, what do you feel about bringing back Kuzma or letting Kuzma go?
Yeah, I'm still sending Kuzma away.
I'm with you.
Even with Brooke out, the thing with that is, right? Like, what does that really change for Kuzma? Like, he didn't really rebound that great for us. Like, he's not a good enough shooter to replace what Brooke brought to the table. He's still kind of an odd man out.
Right. I think a guy that a veteran team should be looking to get his services is one of your former players. I think Chris Middleton has a lot of value for a contending team.
I agree. I hope Chris goes to a contending team. I want to see him win another title. Targets for the Boston Celtics. The Celtics are interesting this year because I feel like they should be targeting bets that they can flip for assets. Or just guys trying to, rehab their value and help them, this year. I can see Allie should have just pulled it.
OKC looks like they're about to fold. They need to get busy, get some stops.
Oh, well, the Pacers got to stop. Oh! Oh, my goodness. Oh, what a hammer. Oh, wow. So that's the best shot you can draw up when you need a bucket is a 15-foot Chet turnout fadeaway? I didn't like that.
That was terrible. Terrible execution. And this is what happens when they get in deep water, they just ISO SGA. They become too SGA centric.
See, like that shot to me made sense because, Pascal is actually a very good post player and he had a huge size mismatch. Chet is not necessarily a post demon. I want to see him try to get downhill, get going towards the rim a little bit.
Right, right.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, Siakam feeling it. He just letting them know, no, you can't guard me.
Any Pacers players the Celtics should go for. Like I said, the Celtics are in a weird spot where here it is. Yeah, what a poster. Ooh. But the Celtics are tough because they're not like contending right now at least next year they're not contending. So it almost feels like they should maybe like aim for some bets that they can, raise their trade value, then flip for more assets that they can build for the years after when JT's back.
That's smart. And I think those kind of options are definitely on the table when you've got a GM and team president like Brad Stevens who thinks that way. I put this out there before. I really do believe that the team that Jason Tatum returns to is going to be a completely different team.
Honestly, I mean, a great target for them you just mentioned him. Why not like target someone like Chris Middleton if you're the Celtics?
If you're going to lose Al Horford, even though they play different positions, I think Chris can deliver that kind of leadership, right? He can be kind of the elder statesman, veteran player, but he's a wing player. So he's a playmaker. He's still a shooter, and he's a solid defender. I think Chris would be a great pickup for Boston.
Yeah, and by the way, shout out Ron Artest for being in the house. Please nobody throw a water bottle at him. But we don't need that again.
Ever again, yeah.
No, that's the weird part about the Celtics, though. Like, if you can find somebody to get on like a good deal that can help you when JT comes back, because like they're contenders 2 years from now, but not this year. That's what makes them so weird. Like, who do you target if it's really just a gap year?
And is that the strategy? Do you put together a competitive roster with the mindset of we're trying to make the playoffs? Or do you go out and target guys that are good players, but what you're really trying to see is if you can develop them and elevate them and, like you said, build up their value so you can flip them?
No, absolutely. Wow, what a dunk. I still can't get over that Siakam dunk. That Siakam dunk was crazy.
Indiana's in control in a way where it's going to take a Herculean effort by OKC to not just get back in it, to out now win it. Like if they bounce back from this down 22 in the game 6, more power to them. I'm not saying it's impossible, but their defense is going to have to be a lot better than it was in the first half.
Ooh. And you know what's funny? It feels like it's the transition that was causing them problems. It's the terrible. It's really their offense is what's failing their defense.
I agree.
Right? Because it's not the fact that they can't stop them in the half court. It's they make lazy passes, which are letting the Pacers run in transition and get a lot of easy buckets that way. And now all of a sudden in the half court, it's like, cool, that defense that was just working, now they're in a rhythm. Like I said, it's you're probably not going to see a lot of big time acquisitions from the Celtics this year. Say the Drew Holiday trade will probably be what brings you back your best asset. I'm not even sure who they target with Drew Holiday.
I think they're going to try to put together a competitive team, while at the same time, I think they are going to shed a lot of contract.
Like the Celtics, to me, they're still a playoff team. Like they'll probably still nail a top 6 seed, but like they're probably like just second round fodder at this point. Great ball movement by Indy.
What a first half by Indiana's bench too.
Say, yep. 19-3, the bench points.
And let me guess, the 3 is from Wiggins, the 1-3 that he made.
Yep.
Yeah. You're not going to win that game. OKC's bench has got to be a lot more productive than that. They don't have to beat Indiana's bench, but they have to be competitive in their production.
Yeah, the speech perk. Let us know how this blowout would never happen if you were still in the locker room. That's what I love about the Pacers. They're never out of it. Once again, before the game, it was just, yeah, OKC, can't wait to celebrate that, championship tonight. It just seemed like a lot of people were counting out the Indiana before the game even started, and they've come out swinging.
No, I'm excited. We wanted a great series. I know before the series began, a lot of us made our picks, and we thought conventional wisdom. We thought the Thunder are probably going to win in 5. Once Indiana punched them in the mouth in game 1, I thought this would be different, that it had a chance to be a great series. Indiana wins tonight. We're going to be talking about game 7 on Sunday, man. That's amazing. And both of us, we don't have a dog in this fight. Like maybe you might lean a little bit towards Indiana because they're kind of the underdogs, but I'm honestly the kind of fan I am. I honestly just wanted a game 7, and I want a great game 7. I don't just want a game 7 and somebody else gets the door blown off them by 25 or 30.
No, yeah, give me a great game 7. We've had some great game 7s. With just in the past decade, most notably 2016 Finals Game 7, where nobody scored for the last 4 minutes leading up to the block and Kyrie 3. Hey, just 3 years before that, 2013 Finals, Spurs and Heat went back and forth. Say, just an absolutely terrific. Does Tatum have a say in free agency? They probably talk to him. I don't think he has, complete control over what happens, but I think they'd probably inquire, what do you think about this guy? What do you think about that guy? I could see him having kind of, at least an input. Say, the thing about Tatum, though, is he's just such a team player. I don't think he's really that picky on who they put around him.
I would agree.
At this point, I think he trusts Brad Stevens to put the right pieces around him, and Stevens hasn't failed them yet, whether it's, trading for Porzingis, which was a great trade for him, trading for, Derek White or Drew Holiday. Andrew Wiggins would fit the Celtics.
Andrew Wiggins would be an excellent pickup for the Celtics, but it would have to come in a trade. And what would be the initial trade? Because what would Miami want for compensation for Andrew Wiggins? I don't think they want Drew Holiday. Not because Drew Holiday can't help you, but let's be honest, the Heat are not title contenders.
The only way unless it's a 3-team deal.
Yeah, if you get a third team, then it's interesting. But just off of what Miami has to offer, what they could want, because I do like Wiggins, his skill set for the Celtics, he fits right in.
Well, like, because, the rumors are, Wiggins would probably be the piece that goes out in a Durant trade. So could we potentially, reroute Drew, Wiggins, and Durant, all the new teams? Say we could also send like Porzingis out in that deal too. In all reality, just make it like every player that people want move. Let's just do it all in one trade. We'll send Porzingis to the Suns since the Suns want his center. We can send Wiggins to Boston, and then we'll send KD and Drew to Miami.
Even though Porzingis doesn't really play like a center, I mean, he's really more like a 4, and very similar to Miles Turner. He's better than Miles Turner. I don't want anybody to get confused with what I'm saying, but Porzingis doesn't have a back to the basket game either. When he's in the restricted area, it's not easy. He might shoot a jump hook once in a while, but usually even in the restricted area, he's just shooting a little jump shot. He doesn't have a post game. He's a face-up player. So I wouldn't want Porzingis as my starting center for 2 reasons. 1, he's not durable. 2, as a primary defender, he would get eaten alive because he's not a good primary defender. He's a good weak side defender.
I think Buddy Hield's in a perfect spot. I think he just needs to stay where he's at, honestly.
I think Golden State is perfect for Buddy because Golden State Warriors fans have high expectations. I think the franchises is more realistic. Going to Boston, I just think they would put more pressure on Buddy than Buddy's used to handling. So he should stay put where he is. And really, when you look at how Boston is built, they don't need a Buddy Hield. They got Peyton Pritchard. You don't need a Buddy Hield.
Yeah, the way the Warriors play the game is just kind of perfectly suited to Buddy Hield. So I think I think he could fit in Boston, but I think his best fit. Oh, I love that dunk every time.
Would Draymond fit in Boston? Nah, he got too big a personality. Draymond and Jason Tatum and Brown, I don't think that works. I mean, he's kind of been part of everything they've done during the Steph era, but they kind of came up together. Brown and Tatum are already established stars in their own right, and let's be honest, Draymond's on the other side of his prime. I don't see how I don't know what they would do with him. I think he could be helpful in a role, and he's already what I would call a complimentary star. I don't think Boston would pursue him. Like, he's under contract. There's a lot of things they could do. I don't think Draymond Green is on their radar at all.
Zach LaVine.
Well, you know what? That's like asking me how you feel about Bradley Beal. Same guy. Same guy.
You know what's funny, Mo? I think the Zach LaVine dilemma half the time is more to do with, it feels like it's more to do with the salary than the actual skill set. I think Zach LaVine has a skill set that would fit in a ton of different places, including Boston. The problem is that skill set worth the amount he's being paid, which I think the answer to that is no. So, like, to me, Zach LaVine in Boston is like, would he fit? Yeah, I think he would fit, but do you want to pay him I think was he making 35, 40 million? Like, no, I don't want to pay Zach LaVine that.
What role would he fit in either? Because he's a two, but he's not a good defender. Never has been. He's not even an okay defender. I don't think he would fit in for Boston for that reason alone. Like, he's much more talented than Andrew Wiggins, but Andrew Wiggins would be a better fit than Boston than Zach LaVine would be. I think you know where Zach LaVine would be a great fit because of how they play and how they move the ball, body and ball at the same time. Golden State. Zach LaVine would be a huge upgrade from Buddy. As much as people say they like Buddy Hield, if they get a chance to get Zach LaVine, bye-bye Buddy.
No, absolutely. Like, Zach LaVine is a great he's turned himself into an amazing high-volume three-point shooter. Like, he can really knock him down at a high clip for you. And he's still got some crazy athleticism. So
he does. So he can catch and shoot, but he's more than a catch and shoot. You know, he would be, to me, Zach LaVine in the role that Buddy Hield plays for Golden State would elevate them to a completely different level.
And the beautiful part too with Zach LaVine, I would love to see him on a team like Boston because we saw him a couple times start to like buy into defense, like when the Bulls were rolling with Lonzo for a little bit there. I almost just kind of want to see, like, if you put him, like this version of Zach LaVine, on a team that has a really strong culture, if you could maybe turn him into at least a passable defender. Like, I think it's possible that you could, but I'm not sure. And I think it'd be an interesting experiment because if you could even, I'd say not even like a good defender, like if you can get Zach LaVine up to where he's like a passable to a slightly positive defender, that's just a fantastic basketball player.
I'm never going to argue with anybody about Zach LaVine's talent. You put it out there, partner. The hesitation with Zach LaVine isn't his talent. The hesitation is the value for that contract. That's a big contract. Yeah. And he's not going to go anywhere, not on a contending team, and be your star. He's not going to be your first or second option. I could see him being a really good third option or a terrific fourth option. But who's going to – of all teams, when we're talking about second apron, Boston is not the right place for Zach LaVine. They're shedding money, not trying to add money.
No, absolutely. He's definitely not going there on this contract. It's $47 million this year, so they're not touching that.
Woo.
Cole Anthony, actually, I like the name Cole Anthony.
I like
obviously part of the Desmond Bane trade. You know, he's in Memphis right now. I think he could fit. He's a young, you know, he's an inconsistent scorer. To me, he's like a low-usage Jalen Green. I think there's value in that coming off of your bench.
I actually like that comp. That's a good comp. Okay.
Yeah, like he's got talent. I think he's like a great six-man. Like, if you needed a microwave scorer, I think Cole Anthony can be your guy for that. And I think the Celtics could – you know what's funny? The Celtics – might not be the best spot for him, actually, because they already have like 3 of those. They already have Pritchard, Hauser. So, you know what? Cole Anthony to the Celtics, they already have too many scorers coming off the bench.
I think Cole Anthony would be a good fit for your Bucks.
I'd love it. Say, Kevin Love to the Celtics? Good culture guy.
Good culture guy, great veteran presence. Still probably can get you a low double-double if you need it. Where he's going to hurt you is Kevin Love's obviously he was never super athletic, but he's even slower and less athletic now. He's not a very good defender if you have to switch out and play in space. That's not a strength. But I think he could fill a void there and be as a situational player. That's the best way I could put it.
No, and that's fair enough. I think Kevin Love would have it. I think Kevin Love would just stay on any team in the league. I just think he's at that point in his career where you just don't expect much from him. He would, but the Rockets just extended him. Loved the Steven Adams extension, too.
I was hoping the Lakers would take a run at him, but so much for that.
Oh, okay. Here we go. I thought Neesmith was going to pull that. Oh, good. Lou Dort was trying to. I see you throwing your head back. You're trying to flop midair for that foul call.
Again.
Say somebody's got to come get this ball from Dort. Yep. Oh, that's going to be a. I think Dort just got a little too indecisive there. He looked to shoot, faked to the corner, faked another shot, then shot. And hard to shoot in rhythm doing all that.
And that's not his game anyway. He's a catch and shoot guy.
Okay, that's going to be Pacers ball. He'd be a great fit, but good luck convincing Philly to part with him.
Part with who?
Maxey.
That's not going to happen.
I'm sure the Celtics could have Paul George.
I was gonna say, you could get Maxey if in the return you're willing to take back Paul George's contract too. I agree that could work.
I thought he was going to put that in for a second. Let me refresh this real quick. There we go. Dort's just falling over every time he shoots a three. It's kind of funny to watch. All right, Thunder. Come on, you got to do something.
We're talking about available players real quick. What about someone looking to pick up Miles Turner, who's going to be a free agent?
Miles Turner. I would love a Miles Turner. I think the challenge with Miles Turner is I don't know if the Pacers are going to be willing to part with him after this run. I think they'll be willing to go into that luxury tax to keep him.
You think they give him a max?
I don't think they give him a max, but if they give him a nice extension, maybe like I'm sure he'll get a decent amount in like the 25 to 30 million range.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that will be close to I don't know if that puts him in the luxury tax, but I think it would put him pretty close.
He looks awkward sometimes, but he's a really good catch and shoot big that can space the floor, and he's a terrific weak side rim protector.
Speak of rim protector, good block there. I'd say honestly, if we do get a game 7, I'd love to see just a defensive struggle all game. Give me that.
You know who's played well defensively tonight for OKC to this point? I think Chet's played defense well.
No, absolutely.
Now you saw how Turner pushed him out when he had that move under the basket. That all that is the fact that Chet weighs all of what, like 180 pounds. He's I know he's over 7 feet tall, but he's super light.
No, absolutely. You know what? I think Game 7 is going to be exactly like this if it does come to that point. Obviously, the Thunder still have time. Not going to count them out, but if we get to a Game 7, I think it's going to be like a grinded out slog, especially if they let them play physical like this.
All right, so I'm calling it. If they let them play physical and it's going to be a grinded out game, I'm going to say, based off of what you just told me, I think Indiana's going to win the series.
I'd love it.
I think Indiana's going to win it. If it's going to be a grinded out, more defensive minded, more of a grind, I think that favors Indiana.
Neesmith would fit the Celtics. They actually drafted Neesmith.
That drafted him and let him go.
Yeah, they had him for a while, but they let him go. I think if the Thunder do lose this series, Dort's probably gone.
I agree. I'm not going to stop there. I think Dort's gone, and maybe what is his name? Cason Wallace.
No, absolutely.
Who, by the way, is only 21 years old. And I say that like Lou Dort's an old man. What is Lou Dort, 25? 24, 25?
Yeah, because I think they're going to have to package some of these guys to bring in, maybe consolidate some of this depth to bring in another talent.
Right.
Maybe them losing the series is what pushes them into the Kevin Durant sweepstakes.
Well, you remember what I said. I said this before we get anywhere near this point. Before we get to the playoffs, I said the only way Durant can come home, meaning Oklahoma City, is they would have to come up short.
Well, I say.
I mean, if you like storybook or narratives, they come up short. There's no way you're going to run back even though it's a good roster, you're going to say something's missing. Maybe it's that third guy that you can trust to give you 20 plus on a given night.
Say Dort would fit the Celtics and Miles Turner. Yeah.
Yeah, both of them would. Dort is I really like Dort because he's got that toughness about him. He guard on multiple positions. He's just a dog.
Let's see. What do we have to give up in order to get to that Kevin Durant level salary?
Oh, are you going to do the trade?
Absolutely. I'm going to check real quick to see it.
That'll be fun.
Because, okay. You know what's funny? You get there pretty easily. Actually, let's see how close we are. Yeah, honest, you're already almost there if you just put Dort and Ihart together. I guess the real question, though, is would you rather keep Ihart or would you rather, like, consolidate some more depth in Kevin Durant?
I think I'd want to keep Ihart if I can, if I'm trying to bring in Durant. I still want to keep Ihart because I do like being able to play Chet at the 4 and the 5, and you can do the double big with he and Ihart. And look, we're talking about what we think could happen. Even if they come up short, how do I know OKC might look at their squad and go, no, we just need to run it back. We need to get a year better.
No, absolutely.
And they do have picks. I mean, they can make moves if they think they need to make moves. Indiana winning, though, would be amazing, not just for the city, the franchise. It'd be amazing for Rick Carlisle to have that second title on his resume. That would cement him as one of the all-time great coaches.
No, absolutely. Bullock, absolutely. I think Bullock would be a great fit. I think Reggie Bullock is just a guy that can fit most places. He's a 3-and-D shooter. What more could you want? Well, he's more 3 than D, but even if he just gives you a consistent hits 4 threes a game at a 40% clip, if you're getting Reggie Bullock on a minimum, what more could you really want from him?
Great.
Say Jackson. I'm guessing we're talking about the only Jackson I can think of is Jaren, which I would say they didn't trade Desmond Bain to turn around and trade Jaren Jackson.
Although I will say this, trading Bain shows that you didn't have confidence in that core 3. And you moved off of Bain, obviously, because now it gives you the opportunity to turn around and offer Jackson a max extension, right?
Yeah.
I guess my question is, though, do you feel comfortable with Jackson and Morant as your franchise players going forward? I feel like even though they're both still young, I feel like we've seen it, we've done it. If I were Memphis, I'd be looking for a full-on reset.
I don't think that duo goes really anywhere. I think that's also just a first-round exit, but
right. That's my whole point. I think they might have a 50 win season or maybe a little bit better, but I still think in the end they'd be first round exit.
1 of 16 from 3. Ouch. You know what that means, OKC? Attack the basket.
Correct. How many free throws have they shot to this point?
No. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? That's just good. But that's kind of the challenge right now with the Thunder. Like, they can't hit anything from deep, so the Pacers are just kind of loading up around the rim. Thunder have 9, Pacers have 13 free throws.
That is proof they're letting them play because I'm seeing a ton of physicality and they're just going.
Like I said, I hope that it's like that in Game 7. Like I said, Hallie would fit, but I don't know. I don't think they're trading Halliburton for anybody right now.
They are not.
TJ McConnell would, but I don't know if they're trading McConnell for anybody right now.
You would like to keep him too. He's one of the best, if not the best, backup point guard in basketball.
No, absolutely.
It's funny because they're not a star-studded team, but if I'm a GM, I'm a fan of a lot of the guys on the Indiana roster.
If I'm Dagnut, I'm just benching the entire starting lineup.
Look, they're doing Globetrotter stuff now. Like they're done. They're done.
No,
we're going 7.
They just got beat off like a missed shot. Like, come on, somebody's got to leak out.
They're going 7.
No, they learned from their mistake. J-Dub made them pay a lot, with a lot of off-ball movement, cutting, just that mid-range. So they're just kind of adjusting their defense, forcing J-Dub to be more of a spot-up shooter, play on the perimeter. And his shot just hasn't been falling today.
And I think they've gotten away from that 2-man game with J-Dub and SGA. I thought they would run that more.
Yeah, it's weird. I get it's funny with Dub. He is 6 of 11, so he is having probably the best performance on the team. It's really that 0 for 4 from 3 that's throwing me off. He just cannot find anything from distance.
Right.
A lot of success just keeping him on the perimeter right now. I agree, Peanut. I agree.
Peanut says we're going 7. I appreciate that, Peanut.
No, I'm excited for that. Say it's the 2 best words in sports. Game 7.
I'm loving it. I'm excited. Man, you know what? This hasn't been a great game so far, at least not in terms if you're a Thunder fan, but if you're a Pacers fan, how can you not be excited? I look, and there's plenty of time left in the game, but from what I'm seeing, I don't see the Thunder. They don't look like they're even attempting to make a run.
Kyle said it earlier, and it almost feels like they came in overconfident. It's almost like they didn't care because, it's Game 7's back in OKC. Yeah, we got this. So
that is a terrible way to think.
And it almost looks like that because it's just lazy effort and lazy execution from them all game long. Dante DiVincenzo to Boston, yeah. I would love to see the Boston Target guys. Like, if they can get their hands on DiVincenzo, that would be great.
I like him, but he is a wildly inconsistent shooter.
No, absolutely. Also, like I said, if they could target someone like Chris Middleton, I think that would be fantastic. He's on an expiring deal.
He's older, but I'd rather have Middleton than DiVincenzo.
Yeah, no, Chris is you'd have to work around his defense a little, but he makes up for it with playmaking, and he's still an elite shooter. So,
I think Boston is going to be one of those sleeper teams next year. I think they still make the playoffs. I think they're still very competitive, but I would be surprised if they get past the first round.
Yeah, they'll be a team that I might pick to win, but it depends who they draw in the first round. I'm super excited to see Orlando next year. It's so funny because a lot of people are hating on the Desmond Bane because it's like we gave up 4 first-round picks for Bane, but I thought the Magic went about it in the best way possible. If you're going to give up 4 picks for Bane, you gave up 4 picks that are still in the prime of all your stars' careers. So you gave up 4 picks when, Franz and Paul are going to be like they're 22 to age 27 and 28 seasons. So to me, it's just like you're giving up 4 picks in the 20s with 1 pick might be top 10, but the Suns have no incentive to tank. So it also might not be a lottery pick. They could sneak into a play-off spot through the play-in. So who knows?
That's why I don't think Orlando gave up too much because you're going to be a 50 or more win team, and those picks are going to be, like you said, it's going to be in the 20s. I'm not worried about who you draft there.
No, it's not like it's the Magic. Oh, good foul by Allie. No, but yeah, we're talking about guys like last year they selected, I think with the 13th pick, it was Jet Howard, and guys like that can't even get playing time. So what are the odds that the Magic are going to find another franchise player, even a rotation level piece in the 20s? It's possible, but
it is.
I'd rather take the consistency that is Desmond Bane than 4 rookies who might contribute 4 years from now, and by then you're talking about Paulo and Franz in their age 30 season.
And look, Bane doesn't give you the wow factor that Jackson, certainly Ja does. but I think he's of the three players, he's the most consistent player.
Yeah, I will say, like, if Desmond Bain somehow steps on into Orlando court and becomes a 30% 3-point shooter like every single Magic floor spacer they get, they might just need to call an exorcist because that place is just cursed at that point.
I actually think playing with those two bookend forwards, Brett, I think his shooting actually goes up.
I say he's a guy that averaged gave you 20 points and 5 assists and shot 39% from 3 last year. In fact, that's been him for the last 3 years, so you're going to get from him.
Right.
Ooh! And I think getting somebody consistent like Bain will also kind of upgrade Franz and Paulo as playmakers, because it feels like, a lot of people think, I've seen a lot of people say that they can't really play make or they're not that good of playmakers. But are Paulo and Franz not that good of playmakers, or they just keep getting surrounded by guys who can't really shoot consistently?
Good point. I think the latter more than anything. KCP has been a great floor spacer, but he goes to Orlando and what does he do? Has one of the worst shooting seasons of his career. They have yet to be able to get consistent shooting on the perimeter to take some heat off of their forwards. But you bring in Desmond Bain, he gives you a shooter, and he's not limited to just being a shooter. He's actually improved his ability to get downhill and get to the paint. So I think it gives you a complete 3-level score.
Say, absolutely. Yeah, no, so I'm looking forward to seeing just kind of how those three play off each other. Charge, yeah.
I should have asked Will, because Will plays a lot of video games. I think he's on Twitch and some other joint. I was gonna ask Will, just for fun, that we could start a wire-to-wire Madden league.
Oh, that'd be fun.
You know what I mean? And everybody could play with their. I'd be a Niner. I'd be the Niners. You'd be the Packers. Well, I'm not sure Will want to play with the Saints, but you know what I mean.
Will's the Saints fan, and he might not. He'd be like, "Nah, I'm good.
I'm good. My guess is he's going to play with the Bears."
I will say though, the Pacers better be careful, because fouling them and putting them on the line to shoot free throws and score with no time off the clock. This is how a comeback starts.
It's true.
This is 3 possessions in a row where they're going to get points on the board without any time coming off the clock. No, it's just ironically, like I said, it's funny because in real life, I hate watching Wisconsin football just because they frustrate me. But I still use them all the time in college football 25, and absolutely whooped a Bama user with them. That always makes me happy.
Nice. Well, the finals end Sunday, and then we've got the draft. We'll have Summer League a little bit after that, and that's always fun and entertaining. And then we'll have more free agency and things of that nature, and probably some trades.
Oh yeah, I would say we'll have the Tony Bradley. What the? All right. Okay. I would challenge this. I think that's a foul on iHeart.
And a bad acting job.
Yeah, no. He flopped. Yeah. I mean, it's fair, though. Save the challenge for if you really need it, but let's see. Yeah. I'm just not a fan right now of what Indiana's doing. People might look at this game and go, well, 22-point lead, 5 minutes to go, they're good. But, like, yeah, but
TJ McConnell gets it. He's like, yo, come on, man, let's keep playing. Because he realizes now they're getting a little lackadaisical and sloppy.
yeah, they better focus back up.
Yeah, what iHeart did and the Academy Award goes to.
And you know what? But if the Pacers, can hold on and win this game in convincing fashion too, at least like that just puts a lot of doubt too for the Thunder. Like the Thunder fans, like you were thinking like maybe they might grit this game out. If they come out and stomp out OKC by 20, then that just makes game 7 so unpredictable because now it's like, okay, both teams have blown each other out at least once. There have been like 4 comebacks. Like, what even happens in game 7?
All I'm asking for is a great game 7. Give me a competitive game 7 that goes to double overtime. I'm not asking a lot.
No, fair enough. There we go. Oh, and I think the beautiful part too about the Magic trade is they still have a pick in this draft. So they traded the 16, but they still have the 25th pick in the draft. So they still get to add young talent this year.
Hope it's a point guard.
Oh, good hit. Okay, 19-point lead. All right, Pacers, slow down. I thought Tony Bradley was going to pull that. Okay. Nemhard to the line for 2. All right. There we go. That was, I like that by Nemhard. Be aggressive, get downhill, get yourself to the foul line. Things are getting a little messy. Slow the game down. Yeah, the Pacers' just ability to find playoff risers is unreal. Like when we talk about playoff risers in the league right now, like it feels like half the Pacers would be mentioned.
I agree. Look, Nemhard, every postseason, the last 3 postseasons, the guy shoots the cover off the ball from 3.
And it's not like it's just like catch and shoot. This man's like ripping off contested step backs and everything other crazy.
And he gives you elite defense.
Mm-hmm. All right. A little crowded in that corner for spacing. Doesn't matter. Nemhard.
They needed that.
Probably a blocking foul. Or a charge. But you know what? Good no call. Play on. Oh, cheese pizza sounds good. I need a game like this again in Game 7. Like, I just need this physicality. I think it's fantastic. I want a chippy Game 7.
But what I like about this game so far, there's not 50 or 60 free throw attempts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Dagnov is smart. I think maybe the next time out, get SGA out of there. Let's not even risk the possibility of turning an ankle or you guys are walking them down.
It is one of those things where I got you. It's gonna be fun in Game 7. Listen, SGA and J-Dub, they're just gonna be straight up emptying the clip. It's gonna be great. I think I will say though, they got to be careful with that. I think they got to be careful though with Shea and J-Dub because you know they're going to aggressively hunt their shot in Game 7, but you don't want to alienate the rest of the team. So they're going to have to make sure they don't get tunnel vision.
Let's say Game 7 is a one possession game going into the fourth quarter. I think that favors Indiana.
Oh, absolutely. Do we do NFL streams in baseball? We say Mo and I normally just stick to some basketball.
We do wrestling. We do
basketball and wrestling. I'd say we've never done an NFL one. That'd be fun. Nah, if Dagnut refuses to take me out shape, maybe I go intentionally get a couple texts. I would just like you said, I would just hate to see like Shea or J-Dub get hurt right now.
Yeah,
like, you might be able to come back, but it's also just not very probable.
And I get it. You want to be competitive, but I'm looking at a team that's down 21 points with 3 minutes to go in the third. In Indiana, they had about a 3-minute lapse where they weren't playing as hard, but I think they've kind of gotten their act together. OKC's not going to win this game, and there are no moral victories. What you can do, though, is you can make sure that your starters are fully healthy and ready to go for Game 7.
Yeah, when your layup rims out like it just happened with J-Dub, probably just time to wrap it up. Oh. No, and it felt like the Thunder's best chance to come back just Freddie came and went. Like, you held the Pacers scoreless for like the first 5-6 minutes of this quarter, and you just made absolutely no progress into cutting into that lead.
Yeah.
Like, you scored, but by that point, the Pacers had, started scoring, so you were just trading buckets, and that just doesn't benefit you, so...
I honestly thought Indiana will win tonight, but I thought it was going to be a grinded out, 108 to 102. Look, it's not going to be that. But that's saying hats off to the Pacers. Like Halliburton when he was in, I thought he was really solid. But this game right here is a team win.
No, absolutely. I'm just waiting for that. Listen, every time the Pacers are, winning, it always somehow gets capped off by an Obi Toppin putback dunk.
Right.
And I'm just waiting for it. I thought it was coming right there. Good foul by Wiggins. Make sure he just can't flush that. Oh, Shea's coming back in the game, and Dort.
I'm surprised that Dagnall selected to bring them back in. Look, and I get it. Like I said, I get it. You don't want to concede any game, especially in the NBA Finals. But man, I just this seems like one of those games. What if they do make a run and they cut it to 13, only for Indiana to push it back to 20? It's interesting.
You know what's funny? I think if your objective right now, Mo, is to win, to make your Caruso tries a three. If you're really going to try to make a comeback, where's Isaiah Joe? You need high-volume three-point shooting right now. So to me, if I'm really serious about making this comeback, I'm getting Isaiah Joe in this game and having him bomb away.
Yeah. I mean, look, at this point, I'm getting Joe in. I'll keep Wiggins on the floor, and I'll just let them bomb away.
Yeah, but Spicy P.
Which, by the way, if you look at OKC right now, they have 5 guards on the floor. They're not even playing with a big.
Oh, he's going to hit this. I don't even need to look. Yeah. Dort always hits the contested one, so as soon as I saw them out to contest that, yeah, he's probably bombing this one. Obi! Yeah, if Obi's hitting step backs on you, it's probably time to just wrap it up.
Are you surprised by OKC's performance, or did you think there was a possibility they'd be kind of flat in the second half?
I'm surprised and disappointed. This has been terrible by OKC. It feels, once again, just oh, got it, beat the buzzer. Oh, hello. Yeah, it's just disappointing. Like, to me, this is actually this is where you go for the kill shot. To me, you smell blood and you go for it.
Right.
The Thunder just felt like they were lackadaisical since the jump, that they were kind of playing, well, we lose this game, who cares? We got game 7. Like, to me, no. I would have acted like this was game 7. But the Thunder came out and put forward this really pathetic effort instead. And like I said, we can look, to me, you can look at them not shooting well from 3, but for me, the pathetic effort is just that. It's the effort. It's the lackadaisical passes. It's falling asleep on, rotations, leaving guys open. The effort has just been absolutely pathetic.
And the assumption that you got a game in the hole and it's going to be at home, I think that's fool's gold, because when you're at home in a game 7 and these are 2 young teams, the longer the game is close and there's pressure mounting, that goes against the home team.
And that's the thing, too. Who has the pressure now? Like, it's the Thunder.
100%.
If the Pacers lose in game 7, who cares? They were never supposed to be here in the first place.
Facts.
But the Thunder are a team of destiny. They're the team that's supposed to be the all-time great team on the line.
I look, they're already getting accolades that they haven't earned yet. Brian Windhorst said if they win the title this year, Shea walks into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the tough part. Like, that kills me. I need the Thunder to be more focused, and they just came out and refused to do that. Like, that's why you don't anoint players before the game even starts. And once again, like, who's to say that they're going to be more locked in game 7? I hope they are. You can't get any worse than this.
I hope they're locked in. What I'm afraid of is, because the pressure mounts for them, because they came in an overwhelming favorite, that they'll play tight, that Indiana will be the looser team. Like, Indiana might come into game 7 feeling like we're trying to win, but we're playing with house money.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Now, it's funny because here's what I picked the Thunder to win this series in 6. However, I said if this goes to a game 7, I'm picking the Pacers. Why? Because now we can talk about the players on the court, Mo, but who do you trust more in a one-game setting, Dagnut or Rick Carlisle?
Oh, I'm taking Rick Carlisle.
Like, you are now, to me, at this point in a one-game series, you're at a coaching disadvantage now. So these players better be locked in, focused, and playing out of their minds, because you know Carlisle's going to have something crazy drawn up.
OKC is going to need the league MVP, SGA, to play like the best. This is why you win the MVP, right? The regular season, you make your name. The playoffs, you make your fame. He needs to play like an MVP. J-Dub needs to come in with his A game. Chet needs to show up at both ends of the floor. Their bench, which is one of the better benches in the NBA, they can't get outplayed so thoroughly again like they did tonight.
No, absolutely. Oh, floater. Like, you know what I'm doing? I am absolutely polling. I am polling all my starters, and I'm just running the entire bench unit, which I think they actually already have. Yeah, it looks like the Thunder have waved the white flag, which is smart to me. At this point, just let your bench guys see if they can get into a rhythm, because you're going to need them on Sunday. Yeah.
I wanted a game 7 so bad. So I'm not disappointed that Indiana's going to win. I'm just disappointed in how easily they're going to win.
It's the lack of urgency from OKC that's what's killed me.
Yeah, yes. Agreed. Although somewhere downtown, man, people are going crazy right now.
No, absolutely. Definitely, I've definitely enjoyed having you guys in the chat, by the way. I'm glad you guys are having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun hanging out with you guys.
We appreciate you guys, for sure.
I say, Indy's got a lot to be excited about. They have Caitlin Clark. They have Halliburton leading them, and the Pacers just going to a Game 7 against OKC. It's a great time to be an Indianapolis fan, unless you're a Colts fan, but...
Well, I guess a spin on that would be Danny Dimes does have a 50-50 chance of being your starter.
I'm going to double down and say unless you're a Colts fan.
And I still think Jonathan Taylor is still one of the better running backs in football.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he is too. I think he still can easily reach that level. It's just not really much outside of that, though. Like, I think they have a solid base for a defense, but the problem is they can get pushed around in the run game pretty easily. So they need some more run stuffers, and obviously their quarterback is kind of situation's a mess.
Well, what we know for sure is Andrew Luck's not walking through that door.
I say he might, but it would just be as a color commentator.
A very whiskery color commentator, but yeah.
Here we go. Like I said, I just don't get why Pascal's still out there.
I would not have him or Neesmith out there this late.
Or McConnell.
Or McConnell. Not when I know they're going to play major minutes in Game 7.
There we go, Rick. Call a timeout. Get everybody out.
Yep. Does that mean we're going to get a Thomas Bryant sighting?
I would. If I'm Rick Carlisle, I'll put myself in. I don't care as long as nobody gets hurt. Now, what an absurd game. Like, I was always hoping, even though I picked the Thunder to win, I was always hoping for a Game 7, and now that we're getting a Game 7, I'm not that confident in the Thunder right now.
Look, all I can say is, maybe they think, like I said, they're playing with house money because they had another game to win. Should they lose tonight? I just think that's a dangerous way of thinking because anything can happen in a game 7, and y'all gonna be playing at home, but all the pressure is gonna be on you at home. Like, what if Indiana comes out and they take the crowd out? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just
saying. Like I said, it's fun, and like I said, it's funny because, like I said, at the end of the day, the all-time if you want to debate all-time players, which is a favorite for the NBA fan base to do, like I still think it's fun regardless of who wins. Obviously, figuring out where Shea belongs if he adds a Finals MVP to his
right,
trophy case. But like I said, what if Pascal Siakam adds one? We're talking about a 2-time champ and a Finals MVP, multi-time All-Star. Like, we'd have to start having some uncomfortable conversations with a lot of favorite players.
And he's relatively young still, so you got to wonder, is Siakam putting himself in a position to be a Hall of Famer?
I think I think he's on a good trajectory. Like I said, especially if he adds that Finals MVP to his repertoire. Yeah, that's who it feels like gets it if the Pacers win. Like, I think Halliburton, he's been great, but he's also had a lot of down moments. It just feels like Siakam's been more consistent for them at times.
I agree. Especially in the Knicks series, the last couple of games, Siakam was unguardable. No one on the Knicks could slow him down.
No, absolutely. So, like I said, game 7, that's going to be a ton of fun. That's going to be great. I love to see it. So we'll call it the Kevin Durant legacy game because if they lose, that might be the next phone call. Yeah, who did you want for Durant?
Yeah, that's it. It'll be interesting. Obviously, they're not going to trade. I know I wouldn't. I'm not trading Chet or J-Dub for Kevin Durant. Like,
I think the best that they could probably get for a Durant deal would be, because you pretty much get there if you're willing to trade Dort and Ihart, then you're only $6 million off at that point. So like you can get there, but and it's funny because it would work because I know the Suns are looking for a center, so they would probably really consider it. But then all of a sudden it's also just the Thunder. Like, do you want to actually part with Ihart? Say, send like Nikola Topic over to the Suns as a young piece they could potentially use.
I could see that happening. Look, Phoenix definitely need assets. They have to get this trade right, and max out what they can get for KD. Because if they get it wrong, how long before Bradley Beal goes to management and not Bradley Beal, Devin Booker goes to management and go, I don't want to be part of a rebuild. I'm in my prime. And I completely understand him thinking that way.
I would challenge a call just for fun.
Ooh.
No, they'd lose that challenge. Barclays Center.
Both of the Williams brothers for OKC are getting extended minutes.
Hey,
they're not brothers, but you know what I mean.
Siakam, Turner, McConnell are all in. I said, give me Thomas Bryant right now. TJ just rubbing it in at this point. Hey, I just realized that, Mo. Next week's and one, we'll be doing it, during the second round of the draft, so we'll be able to kind of keep tabs on that while we're having our episode.
I kind of like that. That's gonna be fun. Kind of like that. That's gonna be a busy night.
Oh. Crowd wants another challenge.
That's funny. This game is so out of hand. You hope the refs are doing a running clock.
Yeah. Say moo, moo, moo. There we go. Oh, McConnell is not. Oh, wow. Is that it? Is that? It almost feels like it's another like part of the hustle issues. If McConnell has 9 rebounds, Shepard. Yeah, TJ McConnell having 9 rebounds is also a problem if you're OKC, considering he's like a 4-foot point guard. Like
that goes back to what you said earlier, partner. He just outworked them. He's outworking their bigs. I saw him snatch a rebound off of Miles Turner. I seen him snatch one, not Miles Turner, but off of Chet. I seen him snatch one from iHeart. Like, you can't let a point guard outwork you in the restricted area.
No, I completely agree. And
why do you do 49ers stream?
oh, would you do a 49ers stream?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I would. It's my team, so sure.
I would. I'm always down. Say he's actually a 49ers fan.
So yeah, I'm down.
Say Alex, I'm a Packers guy, so I definitely do a Packers stream.
I mean, I don't know how many highlight games we're going to have this year. Like I think the Niners will be competitive, and I'll say this: if they can stay healthy and a few things fall their way, like they win some games they shouldn't win, I think they have a shot to make the playoffs.
I've done a couple of actually NFL streams on TikTok before. A couple Packers ones. They're fun. I think the Packers have a chance to win the division, but it'd be tough. We're gonna have to do a lot better with those in division games this year. Say we can't go 1-5 in division again.
Yeah. I think on the morning show, not today, but maybe yesterday, I told Gene, or was it Carmike? Maybe it was the other day, Carmike. I told them that I thought the Packers. We were talking about that division. I said I thought the Packers were going to win the division.
I hope so. I think we have a real chance to do it. All right. NFL stream. If there's no other shows going on, I wouldn't mind doing a couple NFL streams this year. Speaking of football, Yahoo Sports just posted their top 10 quarterback list.
Oh no, because everybody's dropping theirs, so I'm curious to see what Yahoo's look like.
I might have to make mine soon. Then apparently, number 1, Patrick Mahomes.
Not a surprise.
Say number 2, Lamar Jackson. Say number 3, Josh Allen. 4,
Again, not a surprise.
Joe Burrow.
Okay.
5, I hate this. 5, Justin Herbert.
I disagree. And I think Herbert's going to be good, but not top 5.
I say hypothetical Herbert at 5. Stafford at 6. I think Stafford's above Herbert. Say 7, Dak Prescott.
I don't think so.
I don't know. 8, Geno Smith.
I don't think so.
What is even in this list?
Don't think so.
9, Jordan Love. 10, CJ Stroud. Let's see. I think Jordan Love's gonna be better than
Geno.
Yeah, like
and
Geno for
and
sure.
Maybe Dak too. Maybe Dak too. Look, I think Jordan. It's interesting to see the kind of seasons both Love and Stroud have. we were talking about top 10 QB before. The guy that I think that's easily you can put him in top 10, he's probably in the middle. He's locked in at around 6 is Stafford. I think Stafford's always going to be in the top 10.
You know what? You know what throws me off, Mo? Obviously, it's how sometimes it's the names you don't mention that throws you off,
right?
And that's me because I'm looking at that like, okay,
where's
Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, that's right. Where's Hurts at? That's crazy.
Say
they just won the Super Bowl, but okay.
See, 49ers, Packers, and Chiefs fan. Hey, fair enough. Like I said, I'm a Packers fan. He's a 49ers fan, and we have another guy that we know. Shout out Chase is a Chiefs fan. Yeah, same. No, and that's wild to me. Like, Hurts gets so much disrespect, and it's weird because there's this idea that he gets carried. But at the same time, like, it's not like you can put any quarterback in Philadelphia and they're champions. That's just not how that works.
So I don't think Herbert's a top 10 quarterback. Prescott he could be one, but I wouldn't start him off the season as one. Geno's not one. I think Stroud is on the outside looking in. This isn't about whether he's talented or what he could be. I'm just saying, do I think Stroud's a top 10 quarterback? The answer is no.
Like, I think he could be this year. Like, I
don't
mind.
And he might become that. But, I mean, today, do I think he's top 10? I'm only going off of what he did last year going into this season. I have no reason to think that he might have a better year, but is he going to have a better year than Matthew Stafford, a better year than even Jaden Daniels, right? I don't know that. I don't think he's going to or better year than Jordan Love. I don't know that. I think Jordan Love's they say their receiving cores are close. I think the Packers have a deeper receiving core. I don't think they're that close.
The name that throws me off so hard is Geno Smith. I think Geno Smith will be like a top 15-ish quarterback, but he has nothing to work with offensively. He's going to have a run game, but like, do you want to take a guess who the number one receiver on the Raiders is right now?
They're tight end.
Yeah, because unless it's Brock Bowers, I'll put Michael Mayer as their second option. Their actual wide receiver one is Jacoby Myers in 2025. Like, their worst nightmare is probably just going to be a zone defense that's just going to bracket the tight ends. Like, I think they're going to have to get creative. We're going to have to see Bowers spread out wide multiple times. But, yeah, no, this Raiders offense, while I think it'll be efficient, I don't think it's going to push Geno Smith into, like, the top 10 conversations. They have definitely built it to control the clock, not so much make Geno a high-volume passer.
And I think the Chargers are the same way. You have to know your coach. Jim Harbaugh is going to run the football. As talented as Herbert is, they're going to be a running team where the pass is a complement to the run, not the other way around.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, it's funny because we've done a few of these lists, and they've got Jalen Hurts ranked all over the place. This is by far the worst list because they don't even have him in the top 10 at all.
At least the first one we read that was terrible. At least they had him at 10. This one's just like, he's like in the Tua conversations. Like,
right.
No, and the funny part is, it probably sounds like I have some beef with Justin Herbert. I just think he gets overrated a ton. Like, to me, he's like the AFC West. He's like the AFC version of Dak. Like,
that's a good call.
It drives me insane that, like, it's funny because Dak gets so much hate, but yet Justin Herbert literally does the same thing, except in the West. And I get it. They're going to be the conversations. Well, he didn't have any weapons. I watched him underperform too. when it mattered the most, when they had guys like, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. And that's kind of my big beef with Justin Herbert. I just need to see him do it in the big games, because in the big games, he's 0 for 2 with 2 losses that I can put a lot of it at his feet, and that's kind of the problem.
Which is why I do think Harbaugh is the perfect coach for him, and I'm sure the offensive coordinator will set him up for success. But I just think he's going to be efficient this year. I don't think he's going to put up monstrous numbers.
Wait, is that Johnny Furphy? That's Furphy.
Oh, look at this.
I want Furphy to score just because I think the last time I checked the box score for the, Pacer stats in this series, every single Pacer has scored in this series except for Furphy. So I'd love to see the rookie get himself a bucket.
Right now, the game looks like a G League game.
Oh, this is like one of those end of season. Hey, I'm just going to throw in like 10 bench guys in the rotation. We'll see what happens. Give it to Obi Toppin, absolute heater. You know the refs are not trying to call anything.
Nothing.
They're like, listen, as long as you don't like clothesline them, we just want to go get some dinner and.
Yeah, they're on a running clock. They're definitely gonna let them play. I mean, what are they up? 24?
Oh yeah, I'm always willing to do Packers games on my YouTube channel. Oh, I'm shocked they called that.
Wow.
I guess they got to call the obvious ones, I guess. But that also seemed like a very reluctant whistle. TJ McConnell going down the bench and just pep talking guys is great.
I love it. I love the veteran leadership. I love how engaged he stays no matter what point the game is in. Yeah, he's letting them know, like, dude, the job's not done. We got to go to OKC and be ready to go for Game 7. I love it.
Yeah, nah. Job's not finished. In the words of the great Kobe Bryant.
If they lose the series, how much, because they start talking about blame pie, but how much, I don't want to use the word heat. I guess how much blame should the young coach Dagnov get?
I think he deserves a good amount of it. It just feels like this is one of those that it almost feels like the blame should be like 50-50 on coach and players.
Okay.
Because on one hand, like obviously Dagnut just making random rotation changes and changing rotations before the series even started. Like at times he felt like he just kind of got too cute. At times it just doesn't seem like this team was ready to play basketball, like this game, for example. But at the same time, like, yeah, I would probably say with Dagnut, I'd say like 50%. I think this is almost like the perfect series if they lose, where it's half on the player, half on the coach.
Okay. Yeah, well, this is one of those games where there's not a lot of good film to show the players. If you're a Thunder fan, there's not a lot of good film to show. You can definitely show what not to do. There's a lot of that.
That's gonna be yeah. That's gonna be the worst film watching session of their life. It's gonna be one of those. Okay, guys, here's what we did well. Okay, guys, let's look what we need to improve. No, listen, and that's a good call by the announcer. If I was a Pacers fan, I wouldn't leave. I don't care what traffic looked like. Like, this will be the last time I get to see the Pacers in person before they go to Oklahoma City and bring us home a championship. Yeah.
I take that back. These last few minutes have not been as good as a G League game.
At least the G League games have got like fun young players to watch. Like, hey, look, there's Reed Shepherd and
right, and you get a couple of breakaways and a dunk here and there. This is less entertaining. Man, this is very disappointing. Like you said, I guess because of what they've been all season long, I expected more from Oklahoma City with a chance to close this out. I didn't say they were going to win, but I thought they would have played much better.
Nah, James Johnson pull up in the last minute is just diabolical.
He's actually one of my, on the low, he's one of my favorite players. If you know everything you know about James Johnson, he's like the consummate, he's a pro's pro.
So he's the enforcer.
He is. He's the real life enforcer, like on and off the court.
He's like undefeated in MMA fighting or something like that, or not.
I don't know, Brett, if you watch a lot of other content creators on TikTok, but I started watching, what is this kid's name? He's really fast. I think his name is, I Am Speed.
Oh, yeah.
So I recently watched him race the dude that was undefeated, that Ashton, what's his name?
Ashton Hall.
The one that used to play for, I think, Bowling Green or something like that.
Yeah.
But, and they raced for 60 G's. Like, it must be nice to have it like that. But he didn't beat him just once. He beat him 4 times. Like, the kid's speed is like, a kid is so fast.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was just kind of funny to see too that he almost kept crying for a rematch too.
He did. It got sad, and then it doesn't help that the speed kid is a really great troll, because then he started nicknaming him Ashton Fraud.
Hey, I'll say we've seen I Show Speed on one of our streams before. Actually, he was the guy. He's the guy that got split in half by that Braun Breaker spear at the Royal Rumble.
That was him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Man, he is everywhere.
He was that content creator. He did the backflip, and then he turned around and broke him.
Right. I remember they did the black, because he does the backflip all the time, and Breaker broke him in half. Yeah. I saw Logan Paul doing an interview, and Logan Paul said he thinks I Show Speed is a natural for the WWE. And I said maybe, but in like a smaller division, because I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't weigh more than 150 pounds.
No, fair enough.
I mean, who's he gonna race? Wrestle the LWO? Like, who's gonna wrestle? He can wrestle. He can wrestle Travis Scott. He'd be okay.
Oh man,
But the kid is. I didn't know he was as famous as he was either. He's everywhere.
Wait, did James Johnson get kicked out of the game?
Oh, that happened. Okay.
he
I didn't think that. Yeah, that happened. I thought that was. I didn't think it was that. It was that serious. Wow. Look at Reggie.
30 seconds and got himself kicked out of the finals. That is fantastic.
Reggie's confused too. I'm confused too. Man, didn't even get to break a sweat.
What's up, Jory? Yeah, Chet, 4 points. Got to be better. And I'm not moved by this ball movement by OKC. They went to this ISO ball way too early.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, Mo, that it's funny because right now they're going to end the game with 13 assists unless they add one here at the end of the game. However, like going into the fourth, they only had 7, so they literally stat padded assists in the fourth quarter. But yeah, there we go, 14 assists. They literally matched their assist total this quarter. They just got to have better ball and player movement in Game 7.
Agreed. And I think this is where their coaching staff, they have to have a plan B for if they're struggling offensively. Don't go away from your motion offense. Don't go to get the ball to SGA at the top of the free throw line and let him isolate. You got to do more than that.
Yeah.
You can run pick and rolls with J-Dub and Chet. Like, you can do stuff with SGA off the ball. And if you're a Knicks fan and you're like, man, we need a bench. Well, you didn't have to let Obi Toppin go, and you didn't have to let Quentin Grimes grow. If you had Grimes and Toppin on your bench, maybe you'd be in the finals.
You know what's funny? I don't even think it would matter. It's with Toppin, the Knicks just never used him right. They tried to just sit him in a corner while Toppin's just better when you let him move around and kind of get moving towards the basket.
That's on Tibbs.
I
you know how to use him.
It's funny because I've seen a couple people say that where they're like, well, if the Knicks still have Toppin, I'm like, so we can just stand in the corner and just not do that much for you?
But here's the crazy thing. What about Grimes? Grimes essentially is a high-level 3-and-D guy. You could have kept Grimes and could have saved yourself all those picks you gave up to get Bridges. Their skill sets are very similar.
No, absolutely. Wow, what a game. What a watch-along. If this is the last one, that would be, it was a fun one. We'll see what happens. Sunday, it's going to be a great time. Mo, do you want to add anything before you get up on out of here?
No, I just appreciate everybody that's joining us tonight, especially Florida Panthers from Australia. Appreciate you. Great sport. Great comments. You were on fire tonight. Jory coming through, Key coming through, Kyle. Just make sure you guys check out all the great content we have at Wire to Wire Network. Make sure you check Brett and I out. This is where we do our double-double. We're back on the morning show, Coffee and Sports in the Morning. Check us out tomorrow. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we'll be hanging out on the morning show tomorrow, talking some sports. Check out all the great content of Wire to Wire. Florida Panthers fan, thank you so much. Jory, Kyle, definitely appreciate you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and you enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you for tuning in to the And One podcast. If you like our content, you can find more on the Wire to Wire Podcast Network on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify. Want more And One? Find it on Wire to Wire. Like and share our Facebook page and join the And One Discord. Grab the link to join from our Facebook. Thank you for tuning in and have a wonderful day.